Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us in the new webinar, which is Transformation of Business Environment, Learning Post-Crisis. So we have a wonderful speaker with us today who is going to help us and understand more about this. Before I go to him, I would request Mr. Gurmeet Singh Arora, the National President of Indian Plumbing Association. Gurmeet ji, can you switch on your cam and your mic, please? Gurmeet ji, can you hear me? Gurmeet ji, are you around?
Sandeep, can you hear me? Am I audible, Sandeep?
Yes, you are audible. Can you switch on your mic also or your cam also?
My cam is not to be switched on. 1 minute. Yeah, here I am.
Super. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Indian Plumbing Association new webinar we are doing this week. And I would like you to share your vision and thoughts about Indian Plumbing Association to all the members who have joined us.
Well, let me first and foremost welcome our speaker, Mr. Partha Pratim Banerjee. Partha is going to be speaking to us on transformation of business environment, learning post-COVID crisis. Of course, Sandeep, my colleague, will be introducing Partha. I will just talk to you 5 minutes about IPA. Then we'll go into the sponsorial presentation, and then we will go into Partha's learnings today. Can you go to the next slide, please?
1 second. Yes.
The next slide. We are indeed thankful to Astral Pipes for sponsoring this webinar. IPA will be conducting one webinar every week. Next week, we have another webinar which Sandeep will announce to you. It's on a very exciting topic, what we call Jeevit Jal, giving life to water. So I am indeed very thankful to Astral for sponsoring today's seminar. Thank you very much, Astral. I would like to clap for you, sir and gentlemen. And I have the next slide, please. So Astral has a pipe with 4 monks on top, and they call it Astral Sailing Boat. IPA has many activities. IPA is 27 years old now, and we have 4,600 members. We conduct the Indian Plumbing Conference annually. This year, the Congress is going to take place in Pune. I'll talk to you about it after some time. We publish the monthly magazine, Indian Plumbing Today. It goes to each and every member of IPA. Of course, we have not been able to print the copies for April and May because the printers are all under lockdown. But as soon as the lockdown opens, we'll be sending you the magazine for April and May. IPA also conducts the World Plumbing Day on 11th of March every year, where we have blood donation drives, painting and poster competitions in schools and colleges, I Save Water mission campaigns, a lot of seminars on technical topics, and this is celebrated across 23 cities in India. We have the Indian Plumbing Professional League, which I'll talk to you in the next slide, and the I Save Water mission, where we have targets to save 133 crore liters of water we have saved last year. Next year, this year's target was 500 crore liters of water, but I can't see anything. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll keep on talking because I'm not able to see anything on the screen. I don't know why. But anyway, so the next slide will explain to you about the Indian Plumbing Professional League. We normally do this in 23 cities across India. Last year, we had 819 participants. This year, we are targeting over 1,500 participants across India because we are converting it from hard classroom format to a soft format. As you know, we cannot meet for the next 3 months to 6 months, and hence we'll be doing this in soft format. The only advantage we have now is that instead of doing it in the 23 cities that we have, we can do it all across India. So even if we do not have a chapter in Srinagar or in Jammu or in the Kanyakumari, we can have participants from all over India. We also have the iSave Water mission, which is the next slide. And this year our target was to save 500 crore liters of water, which we cannot achieve because, as you know, for maintaining hygiene, hand wash, hypochlorite to be mixed with water, and all the disinfection and disinfectants that we are using, there is a lot of water consumption, and therefore this year we will not be advocating the iSave Water mission. Plus, the iSave Water mission is where we have to physically go and propagate the use of aerators in housing complexes, in commercial complexes, which is not going to be possible for the next few months. So this campaign will be suspended for some time, till such time that we can advocate it. But as you can see on the slide, Prabhu Gaurang Das ji, who from ISKCON, he is the president of the ISKCON temple at Chupati. He is our brand ambassador, and ISKCON is supporting this in a big way. We are in fact converting 42 ISKCON temples across India to green. And one of the attributes is also to make sure that they recycle every drop of water that goes out of the temple. It is treated and reused, and also all fixture units, all sanitary ware will be using low flow fixtures, sensor operated taps as we need them today. So Sandeep, I think let's move on to the presentation. I don't want to waste more time because there'll be a sponsorial presentation also.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for your address. And I would request now our partner, Astral, Mr. Vikas Sharma. He can switch on his cam and his mic. Vikas, can you do it?
Yeah.
So because I've stopped my sharing my screen. Now you can share your screen and you can keep your camera on. And I would like to inform all of you that this webinar is live on Facebook on Indian Plumbing Association page. Any of your friend who is not able to log in and who is not able to register, and they find it tedious to do it, or they find it some technical problem, you can inform them, message them, call them, that they can see it live on Facebook at Indian Plumbing Association page. Yes, because now all mic to you. You can take your time.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
First of all, thank you, IPA, for giving us an opportunity, and it has always been an honor to be associated with you people. Today, I'm not going to talk about what we are manufacturing or what Astral is all about, because I think everyone knows about Astral. You know, it's one of the leading plumbing company in India. So I'll not talk about what products we are manufacturing, but would like to share, some thoughts, which I really felt, or which we really felt as a company, during this lockdown, which relates to our journey of Astral. We have been hearing this word, most of the times in last 2 months. I think सब लोगों ने ये शब्द इतनी बार सुना होगा, शायद पूरे साल में शायद कोई और शब्द नहीं सुना होगा, which is COVID-19. The word which comes, every time, every morning we hear, while eating, while sleeping, while walking. But it seems like COVID-19 is taking so much away from us, so much things from us. But what we feel is that it's also giving us something special. It's giving us an opportunity to come together as one humanity, to work together and to learn together. So I think we have to see something positivity out of it. And I think each one of us must have heard our Honorable Prime Minister's few days back, and he spoke about Atmanirbhar, and he so rightly said कि ऐसा क्या है जो हम सब लोग मिलके नहीं कर सकते हैं? What is that Indian people and companies can't do together? We are capable of turning the tables. We are capable of making the quality products. We are capable of doing things differently. We are capable of innovating things and innovating products. We are capable of producing the quality products, and that too at the Indian soil, strengthening our Make in India. So I think this vision, this of making something for the society and making in our country, that vision 20 years ago, same dream was taken up by the company called Astrals, and who took that initiative to bring a revolution in the plumbing industry by introducing and by launching a product called CPVC for hot and cold water applications. When the whole market was ruled by metal piping system, and that was when the Astral was born. And that's how the foundation was laid of Astral. I think it took a lot of time, to reach here, but I would really say that we started with only one machine and 10 people. And today, with the support of you all, it has become one of the leading companies, and Atmanirbhar, that's why we say Atmanirbhar Astral Strong Bharat. So I really thank each one of you for making it happen, for the multi-location plants and everything. But I think bringing a product is not only something which any company is doing, whether it is a piping company or whether it is a faucets or a tile company. Just bringing a product into the Indian market is not the only solution or only thing. There is always a responsibility attached to it. The responsibility of giving the best of the products, responsibility of serving our society and country, responsibility of the quality of the product, what we are maintaining, responsibility of innovating the product in a much better way. And that's the reason Astral went for a backward integration to become the only company to produce its own CPVC compound with the international certifications like NSF or UPCI. So that's what the Astral always think about it. And that's what is making Astral Atmanirbhar. Another reason of Astral being a success story is the guideline or the push which we are getting from you people to bring up the new technology into the market, to keep innovating and bringing this new technology. We have launched another product few years back into the drainage segment, which was called the PP low noise systems. That's what Gurmeet said, that 5 monks sitting on top of the pipe. That's the silent pipe. That's the innovations what Astral has made few years back. We launched this product under the brand name of Silencio, and also with the density of 1.9, which is the highest in the world, is as per the PP drainage is concerned. We could have gone with the PVC pipes, which was much easy to produce. But we wanted to give best of the products to the Indian market. And that's our aim that is our goal. Because of which we wanted to produce this. Why PP? Because we thought that PP is a product which can be used for any drainage applications, whether it is a hot water, whether it is a chemical resistance, or to overcome the impact issues, expansion contractions, or with all the sanitary T's, which is the demand or which is the requirement from the consultants. So we are proud to say that at this point of time, Astral, with the whole range of pipes and fitting being manufactured in India with 1.9 density, has not only become the largest producers in India, but in the world. We can say proudly that we are become the largest manufacturers of pipes and fitting in PP low noise in the world. And that's the reasons the product being manufactured here in Indian market has been certified by IPA USA, whether it is a Singapore laboratory, Singapore, or whether it is an Australian watermark. So again, making Astral and each of us proud and Atmanirbhar. So we have been innovating a lot of products. We try to see that we come up with the chambers, ready-made chambers to replace the conventional systems. We have these chambers from 350 to 1000 mm. We have also ventured into double wall corrugated pipes, again ranging up to 800 mm dia, shortly launching around 1000 mm. We have also launched PEXA, another innovation for hot and cold water plumbing system. So there has been a lot of innovations. I don't want to talk about much of the product portfolio because everyone knows what Astral is all about. But what we have also heard Prime Ministers, our Honorable Prime Minister saying that be local and be vocal. So that's what we are proud to say, that we are a local company here, and let's our quality and innovation be local about it. I would like to share another thing with you people, that bringing these innovative products was not easy for any company. Bringing an innovation is not easy. There is always a failures in that. So it doesn't happen that we have brought this product and the success has come immediately. We have failed number of times, but that was not the end. We have to go after it. We have to keep working on it. Because it said, if you have never failed, you have never been tested. And if you have never been tested, that means you have never seen your best yet. So as a setback, it's only
because we'll have to wind up soon.
Yeah, just a few minutes. So a setback is only an opportunity for all of us to come back stronger, I think much stronger. So in the end, I would just say, and just really thank IPA and all the bodies associated with it and all the people who are working towards it for coming together and committing knowledge and expertise with all of us, helping us to overcome this boredom, fear during this lockdown, and helping us to work together, to learn together. And definitely with this, we are definitely going to grow together. I thank you once again on behalf of Astral, each one of you, for giving us an opportunity to speak few words which we really felt the time of it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vikas. It was great.
Sandeep?
Yes.
Before you go ahead, can you announce the next webinar, please?
Yeah, the next webinar is on 21st of May, and it is, as Mr. Singh has said, it is a Jal Jeevit Jal and rejuvenating the river water.
Rejuvenation of water, yeah.
And we have a wonderful panels on that. The panels are from Spain. The panels are from Nagpur. The panelists are from Rotary Club, and there is a panelist from Pune. She's working from last 10 years in for the Nadi, Jeevit Nadi. We will have Jeevit Nadi. So we'll have a wonderful panel discussion. So we'll keep you updated. We'll send you the flyer. We'll send you the details to you by tomorrow, end of the day, so that you all can register in time and take a benefit out of it. Believe me, in IPA, we always try to bring something different rather than, so that we can share a good knowledge with you, because IPA is more of disseminating the knowledge. That is the main core of IPA activities. Now, coming to our today's speaker, Mr. Partha Pratim Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee, you are welcome. I would request you to keep your camera on so people can see you now. Great. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you very much for accepting our request and joining us and to be our speaker of today's webinar. Mr. Partha has a very huge profile. So he has more than 31-year plus experience in a lot of leadership role. He has been a motivator. He has worked in different verticals of the industries, and he is very passionate about building and leading large teams, building collaborative work culture, bringing in innovative solution for business and integration of right partnership model. Mr. Partha, I don't want to describe you in a conventional way. People should hear you. I want to ask you one question, that you have been part of the leadership role in various large companies from HCL to Siemens to Wipro, and you have been empaneled with the CII also as a consultant to them. Can you give me a short insight to our member who are present today about leadership? Just a few key takeaways, since they all are leading some business, they are leading they are leader in their job, they are running their businesses, they are running industries, they are a member of Indian Plumbing Association. So I think with some inputs from you will be really great, on a leadership. Just some key takeaways I just want to.
First of all, good evening, and thanks a lot to IPA, and especially Sandeep, and we just heard Gurmeet ji also in this. It's a great chance to speak here in front of so many colleagues and so many friends around. And the question that you asked, Sandeep, is very core to my heart about the leadership. So it's not about always the organization that one has worked, but the situation that you have gone through. That's where, in my case, I can say that I have learned the leadership traits and I have been able to apply it in the next steps. Primarily in few words, if I break the word, this how you lead. There are situations, so today we are going to talk about a certain topic, but there are situations in our professional life, not only in professional life, in personal life, someone has to show the path. Someone has to take the ownership. Someone has to take the end-to-end responsibility to drive certain things. So all that I had been trying to do in my career, I had been trying to pick up the pieces, and God had been lucky with me that I got immense chance from my employers in different places where there were opportunities to really come out and take the leadership role. I'd been lucky enough to work with my colleagues who accepted the situation and say that, okay, hey, you were there, you can drive us to the situation. So leadership is not only driving a situation, it is also to carry along your people along with you. We need to really constantly communicate with them and tell them that what they are doing and why they are doing. And as a leader, we need to stand by them, give them enough courage so they can simply take out their qualities, their traits to serve the situation and go ahead. So that's what we have been doing. And as I always say that I'm grateful to the industry and grateful to the colleagues to drive that. So that's in the nutshell.
Super. So we all go with this few takeaways from your leadership, and I know we are going to have a wonderful session now. You have a lot of things to share with us to how to deal with this crisis, and I don't want to define this crisis only to the COVID. I would like to share the larger spectrum of the crisis to us, because the crisis can be of any time. It can come anytime in the life and the business. So you can share your presentation if you want, and then we can start with you. I welcome you once again.
Yeah, we'll start from there. And just a few words before that, see, as you rightly said, it's not about COVID. Crisis can come in different forms, and it's all about how we handle the situation. Today, COVID's situation is such that the knowledge base is limited to us. It's extremely difficult to talk about a certain situation, but there are very specific proven terms, proven ways of working, which will help us to be there post the situation if we prepare ourselves. So thanks once again, and I will be pausing in between because, on a very selfish interest to also hear from my colleagues who are listening to this session today. I would like to hear from them, take their ideas, take their inputs, and then continue with the presentation in between. That's how is going to be the flow of the discussion. So here we go. This is something by a very, very eminent person in the industry who says that crisis is the foundation for the next successful years. And that's how we keep on learning from different situations that what exactly are the mitigation process and how we should prepare ourselves for future. The situation today is, yes, we have a crisis. Now, when you have a crisis, what do you need to do? We are in a panic situation in different places. You find people getting panicked, some are stable, some are panicked, and you're really thinking that please help, please help. But it's the time, as Mr. Redwin had said, that if we lose our head at this point in time, we'll create more crisis for ourselves. That's the first thing that I would like to put in front of everyone, that let us try to keep ourselves cool and be in our places and think that how we can really walk through from this place. The concerns today, if we look at it, that the impact of the different calamities that has happened earlier, whether it's the earthquake or whether it is a hurricane, it was nowhere equal to the situation today. The arrow is a little bit wrong. This should have been in 2020. Someone got erroneously placed into 18. So 53% impact is going to come out. And this is the Gartner data, which says that the intensity of the data is extremely high. But are we panicked? The hard facts, again, coming from the Gartner, we are saying 78.3% of the respondents, when Gartner had done the study, they said that there is going to be a big financial impact. 53.1% say that they anticipated that there is going to be a change in operations. Now, mind it, there is going to be a change in operations. 35.5% said that there will be a disruption in the supply chain. The impact on the financial side obviously is led by different factors. And we can see there are two things which are very, very clearly coming out: the change in operations and the disruption in the supply chain system. This is an eagle. This is one of the birds that I really like. And I had been trying to shoot a few pictures earlier, but this is not my picture, obviously. I like this part, this is there in our life always, the second wind. While there is a crisis, but the fact is the second wind is also coming. What is the second wind? The fresh lease of strength, the energy and endurance to continue and restart. Actually, the second wind goes very much with the athletes. So when they start with a level of energy. When they once again stoop down and really just before the finishing line, they gather the energy and they touch the line of victory. So while we're talking about the eagle, let me also try to share the story of the eagle, how it goes, and how it is so relevant to us today. So I think you can really understand that how relevant it is today for us to be like the eagle. Is the screen visible to you all now? Sandeep?
Yes, yes, it is. You
Fine.
you can make it a larger full.
Yeah, sure. Now it is there in the presentation mode. So that was the connection, when we say that the second wind, and here was the example that how the eagle embraces the second wind and goes. Now, what can help us to thrive amidst the crisis? There is one simple thing that which we should have in our mind when there is a crisis. We need to have the courage and continue ahead and see that part and get into a better life tomorrow. The balanced approach to the solution. When you have a problem, there is a solution. One part of the focus is that immediate challenges impacting our employees, customers, and partners. After all, our world in the business is all around our employees, the customers, and the partners. What is going to be the change in the market? Market is generally dynamic, but with this kind of a situation, the dynamism, the speed will be much higher. We'll have to catch up with the situation and see that what kind of changes are happening. We need more collaborative environment of work. There has to be lesser boundaries so that we can really exchange our thoughts and really get into better ideas of living. Extreme important today is the resilience part. The plan for the immediate situation, how we can manage the fund to survive, because there had been the stoppage in business and there had been loss of different situations. The mitigation issues in different organizations come from different salient points. We'll have to identify those things and really make a stopgap arrangement so that we can survive and continue with the current situation. Look at the budget, take certain tactical decisions, and decide what is the time frame which is going to be a sustenance, and then how we take it up. While we create our focus, we play the resilience part, plan the sustenance, we'll have to also think about the restart. What exactly need to change in-house? See, what happens is typically when we work, we're used to a certain level of practices, certain level of coordination, way of living. But now the time is going to come where we'll have to sincerely plan for certain changes. What is the new way of working? The world is sincerely going to change. Already, if you look at the situation, I can talk about my experience, the kind of vendors that we are interacting for our daily livelihood. It's online, online, online. And look at the vendors, how they are adapting changes. They're picking up different products. Look at Amazon and others. Apart from electronic goods, white good items, they've also picked up different grocery items. Swiggy, Zomato, they're picking up grocery items. So what is the need in the market? What is the new way of working? What kind of capabilities does the industry require today? Because we probably had been looking at a certain level of skill, certain level of knowledge, but that may not be adequate to serve the capabilities that requires in the market. And look at the interoperability. We may have various divisions, various units, fragmented. Can we integrate together, bring in our knowledge, bring in our forces, and restart from there, making things much easier and flexible? The business has to evolve. There has to be certain competitive advantage coming out from the entire stuff. And we'll see that how competition is preparing. See, it's not only how they're preparing for tomorrow. What were the competition yesterday and how they are going to prepare tomorrow? what is going to be the demand of the customer? The product X, which was fitting so well into someone else's house yesterday, is it going to be the same today? We are getting into that famous, or rather infamous, word of untouchability. Everywhere there is a question of touch, be careful of the touch. So what are the health security regulatory changes and the compliances towards that? So that's the evolving change. We'll have to adjust ourselves to that. Now, to restart business, we'll have to start thinking and revamping the organization for the new reality. It's not only thinking, there has to be a lot of action behind us, which we'll have to bring in together so that we can sincerely restart. A persistently positive focus, when you talk about a positive focus, it's not only a very, very small stuff, that what are the different kind of positive focus actually are required today. I would really like to stop here for 3-4 minutes and gather some inputs from my learned audience friends out here. What do you think are going to be the positive focus for the coming days, the coming needs in the market? I just take the next 3 to 5 minutes, and Sandeep, if you can help me to get.
Yeah, I would request everyone, they have a chat option. They can write over there and answer Mr. Banerjee what he wants to know, so that it can be more interactive to each other. So, positive
focus. The question, the point out here is, what are the positive focus areas that comes to the mind of all the people who are here today?
Okay, Minesh Bhai says that consider lockdown 4.0 as a India opening phase 1. Anybody else can give their views? Positive focus, skill development, increase Indian demand, greater opportunity, sustainability. Mr. Banerjee, I'm reading to you.
Yeah, greater opportunity. Before that,
increase Indian demand, skill development, sustainability, telemedicine, positive focus on innovation, again, new product development, erase the earlier mistake you had done and move ahead with more vigor. There's a lot of headroom for consumption, readiness to diversify, peace of mind, nature of work, remove the idea of unachievable, change in technology, customer-centric focus, skill enhancement, take care of client and business partner, self-reliance will help us, more employability. Wow, Vinay Gupta said a thing out of the box. Changing weakness as to strength, Atmanirbhar. We expected consultant also work from home by delivering from remote location. This means new business model. Okay, new business model. Adoption to new normal, self-reliant, affordable products, adopting international uniform plumbing system, positive focus on how to bounce back.
I think
create comfort with our clients.
Create comfort, okay.
Yeah. So a couple of people have said bouncing back. Somebody said the new comfort. Somebody said a new dimension to the business.
Good.
Yes. So focus on liquidity by avoiding rework, redesign.
Great, that's lovely.
Yes.
That's lovely. Let me come back to the screen. I think most of these things are there subsequently. We'll be talking about many of these things, and thanks a lot to all my friends out here for bringing up and really, really reconfirming my thoughts as I've tried to gather together. So, I think the screen share has gone somehow because there was a connection glitch in between. I'll once again share the screen.
You can share, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Super.
Okay. You're here. You're here. You're here.
Partha, can you enlarge it, please? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I have. There's a little bit of slag in the connection. That's why we lost it in between and it went back. So we were here actually when we had passed on the questions to our audience. Focus on our employees more than yourself. See, we'll be coming back to these focus points in different ways, in different forms during the entire session. Today, the employees and always the employees are extremely important for us. So how do we need to focus on them? Many of my colleagues have mentioned about creating values, innovation, relationship. The more we create the values, the numbers today are really imperative. We can achieve any damn number in the coming days with the value creation. The strength of the values will be taking us up the line. Focus on the opportunities. I heard few of my colleagues say that the demands, the situation coming up. The crisis always will throw up certain new opportunities. We'll have to keep our ears and eyes open to see that what are those opportunities that we should embrace. Mind it out here. There can be a situation tomorrow, you will find that there are multiple opportunities coming up in front of you. But we will have to be extremely careful that what kind of capability we have and what kind of capability we can create. Based on that, we'll have to pick up the opportunities and also the demand of the market. Focus on your progress. While we are resilient, we are withstanding the situation. Someone mentioned that how to get over the current situation. The resilient time is extremely important for us to prepare ourselves. Now, let me connect with the lockdown situation worldwide that is happening. Why lockdown? There are so many reasons for which the entire world is going for lockdown. One of the situation is basically to prepare themselves for adverse situations or to come up with a situation which is progressively going to address the virus over a period of time. So that's what is going to be, in a way, a learning for us. Focus on today while you build up the future. We'll have to manage our house. I am harping on this point once again. We need to see that today, at least, what are the basic needs are required, the basic customers requirement, basic employee requirement. Those are maintained in a proper way, but the mind and the vision, again, the mind and the vision has to be prepared for a better future. This is extremely important. Let us focus on what we can be. Whatever happened yesterday, that's not really important because we had suffered, we had done whatever situations walked through, but we need to be very, very confident to say that, yes, we are going to make something different tomorrow. Focus on the best resources. Now, when I talk about resources has got multiple angles. Resources are commodities? No, not only commodities. Our resources are mainly our own employees. How can we build our resources? How can we take them up to the next level? Some of my learned friends gave this one as a suggestion for their focus. So for us, the primary resource is our employees. Let us try to see that how much we can develop them. What is the best we can extract from them? Each and every person has got a lot to contribute. I'll detail more on the resourcing part, on the people part, and the coming part of the session. So this is once again going back to what the Gartner is saying today. So we'll have to keep the lights on. We'll have to keep the lights on, saying that first thing is that today, after this crisis specifically, health and hygiene across all function of the organization has to be maintained with the utmost value, utmost focus. One single lacuna in this place is going to really hurt the organization. We are coming back once again to the resourcing stuff, the people. There has to be agility in that. Gone are the days that, someone who was actually very good into accounting and he had been always looking at his accounts book and doing certain stuffs XYZ. But this gentleman had also been showing good ideas in resolving problems in different places. Let us try to look at those people. Let us try to get the best brains and also build up those people where there we know that there are limitations. There's one thing which comes up in these things, evaluating your people at this stage and putting them into development when we have a digital discussion on this development program is extremely important in the coming days. Going digital, the digital part had been spoken in our country since long. We have gone digital in different places, but this is an extremely important time that we'll have to start going digital. The number of areas where we can automate, where we can have better processes, it is going to save our time, optimize situations, increase efficiency, and obviously have a better impact on the cost. Whatever the changes which are happening in the market, we'll have to adapt ourselves and accordingly plan our procurement with all kind of keeping in mind the risks which are behind that and look at what are the fitment of the new era that's we're going to. Ultimately, the prime part, the resilience really matters at this stage. There are different areas. This is from the Bain analysis, the Bain Consulting Group. They have done this part. This is extremely important for all of us today. Personal health and safety, which I covered in the previous slide at one point, but I wanted to highlight it more here because this is going to be extremely important for us in the coming days. The workspace has to be maintained properly, aligned with the regulatory system that's happening today, so that there are lesser interaction. Again, that word is haunting us, that untouchability. Now the social distancing has come. How do we make our workspace more sanitized, more healthy, more ergonomic? So there are different places, and then we really customize those things and gradually develop those things subsequently. If we look at the cost view today, this is the current situation when we're talking about the resilience situation. Immediately there's an impact. We'll have to now look at eliminate certain stuff, some practices, habits, extravaganza, rationalize certain things, renegotiate our terms and conditions with the suppliers. I'm sure they will also be under a lot of pressure. In any ways, we'll have to get rid of the fact, the cost cutting, freezing certain activities, some purchases, some expansion plans which was planned for the next month. Is that extremely necessary for today's environment, or can we really postpone it for another 6 months' time? What's going to be the cash flow strategy? Go back to our sales team, go back to our customers and find out how we are going to really handle the situation, those kind of a situation. See, while we are, one's very important, while we are looking at the cost view of today, we should also look at the three other peaks out here, the recover and the renew. This is the sustenance today, but we are bound, we are motivated to get into a better platform tomorrow. So the entire planning has to be futuristic. Now, we're talking, let's think. What do we think? Few of my colleagues spoke about customers in the previous pause that I have given. I will like to take another 3-4 minutes pause out here. I'd like to hear from all my colleagues out here. How can we make difference to our customers?
Okay, I would request all of you to share your view how we can make a difference to our customers. Yeah, because end of the day, they are the part of the business. Because of them, we are in the business. Giving innovating ideas. Mr. Prasanna Kumar from Bangalore has shared this. Timely delivery. Understand the customer pain point and solve them. That's a solution provider. Maybe. Give value for their money in products and services. Okay. Cost effective and timely delivery. Again, delivery. Customized solution. Again, solution. To be with them in their crisis time, relative more responsive than before. Ensure sustained intimacy and engagement. Value added product at affordable. By providing value added services. Okay. Take care of the safety aspect even more now. Act as their partner. Efficient services at lower cost. Teach technical things. Proactive and give him solution to his current issues. Delivery chain more robust. Good services. High quality of workmanship. Provide customized solutions. Maintaining hygiene. Reassuring them that we can overcome this together, being partner to them, make them positive, offer them support, understand customer challenge and embed solution in delivery, improve process for customers, updating product for current requirement, correct cost, quality and timeliness, engage customer engagement after sale and listen to their complaints if any, align system with customers' COVID requirement or system, understand their current and future challenges, SWOT analysis, be more interactive with them and assuring them that we are with them, all right. Need to put various options to customer, okay, multiple approach. Providing best solution as compared earlier with more safety precautions. Be a reliable partner, mental peace. Employees are the first customers whom should be served best firstly so that they serve to the customer in better ways. Okay, that is good. Very good. Appreciate. Better workmanship with upgradation. Educate and help them to become self-reliant. PERT CPM analysis. Knowing what customer actually need and providing best service according to their need. Define basic customer service parameter and make them understand the limitation considering restart. Focus on adaptive learning. VIVM. Workmanship towards timely completion of project. Cost-effective design initial stage. Customer satisfaction. I hope you have a lot of thoughts to play around.
Excellent, excellent.
We have enough now, Sandeep.
Excellent. And I love this team, you know. This is actually touching almost all the parts that I'm going to cover here today. I'm going step by step. And, you know, again, I'm saying that I'm kind of selfish and trying to bounce myself off that while handling a difficult situation, how my audience is going to interact. Excellent. So let's go step by step. I'll cover a few points out here and we'll cover subsequently in the next part of the slide. Be the top of the mind recall of your customer. I can only become the top of the mind recall of the customer if I go through few of these points which my colleagues have mentioned out here: excellent service, the solutions, intimacy, the interaction, the different solutions they have talked about, the value additions. Let's move on. Build trust through enhanced and quality services. And my colleagues have rightly mentioned these points out here. Communicate well to leverage dependency. The more we talk to our customers, the more we interact, we will be able to leverage the dependency. We have a mutual dependency. We hear from them and then we gradually implement them. Engage, interact, and exchange to understand the change requirement. What am I going to produce or what am I going to service in the coming days? Unless I engage, interact, and all these points my colleagues have mentioned during the Q&A session. You know, Sandeep, it's so nice to hear. When you were reading out the suggestions from the colleagues, I found there were 6 repetitions of solution.
Absolutely.
I just counted. There are 6 times our colleagues have said solution. And this is exactly what I have proposed. Be a solution provider rather than only being the product or service provider.
Great.
Today, our customers will be more keen towards looking at end-to-end solution. Gone are the days of the piecemeal services or piecemeal product supply. That's where we'll have to leverage ourselves. Again, value addition, which came 4 times in this Q&A session, and in the previous Q&A sessions, it came 3 times. Offer value additions and innovative products as per socio-economical changes. See, earlier in different sessions, I used to talk about value addition and innovations, but I used to put the economical changes, but the socio part is the latest entrant with the current situation in the market. So I think that's very nice. We are very much in sync. Thanks, colleagues, for your inputs. And this slide was all for you so far. What is our major focus post-crisis? Now the question can be, gentlemen, we have been discussing about focus only. Yes, I will come back with the focus time and again, because that is the only thing which we'll have to pinpoint in different areas at different point in time to be successful today and also successful tomorrow when you are climbing up the ladders. We are getting into the state of new normal. We are now used to this word new normal. What are these? Connecting all these things that we have been discussing together so far, if you look at this, what are we going to do? What are the major prime focus post-crisis for all of us? We discussed these things. I have just summarized in a more legitimate way. Reduce cost, improve agility, and simplify business. Let me spend a little bit of time on this thing. Improve agility and simplify business. The agility part, obviously, we spoke a while back. The simplicity in business is there are business processes which we're used to. That needs to be now relooked at and say that if a process was taking to deliver certain things and the time taken for that was 3 days, can I cut it down to say 18 hours? I'm not even talking about a day. Can I cut it down to 18 hours? The agility part out here is that how can I mobilize my workforce, and the simplicity will also depend on the process and the automation that we're going to discuss subsequently. Innovation is one part. Continuously, you have to think. Probably earlier I was just listening to the statement given by Mr. I just forgot the name, Mr. Vikas Sharma of Astral. He mentioned about the innovation part. So their company had been innovating a lot of stuff. This is something what we will have to now leverage innovative opportunities. The intrusions of innovation has to be brought in forward. Well, how can we maximize the value of our investment? In the previous slides, we spoke about this, what kind of investment we are going to do, what is the timing, what is the market requirement, alignment on those points. That has to be detailed, absolutely micro level studies on those things so that we can take the right decision about the internally available values of the organization. The third point on the left-hand side is going to be the key player in the entire world. Improve the time to digitalize. See, the point is we have been talking about a lot of computerization, digitalization in the last few months, last few years. Different areas. I have just mentioned 3 bullet points, but there are more areas to look at. Go digital in the production process. Now, the moment you go digital in the production process, there are a lot of internal systems which is influencing your production process. There's a lot of factor in your supply chain which is influencing the production process. Digitalization of those parts are also extremely important. We spend a lot of time in traveling for our marketing. Now, see, such a nice part that we are discussing such an important topic today, and we are in different parts of the country sitting here. And I know a few of the colleagues might have joined from outside the border of India in this session today. Is it lacking anywhere? We are interacting, throwing open sessions for question answers. What is lacking? Let us look at the smart way of marketing, digitalized way of marketing, and adapt those things in a different way. I'm again coming back to the point of the increased customer engagement. It is not only one-time focus, it's a regular focus. Rather, if I have to travel ever, while I reduce my travel, I would rather like to travel in a situation to my customer place to talk about different value-added stuffs rather than pushing certain things which is off the shelf at this moment. If that discussion is beyond the scope of a Zoom or a Skype or a Teams meeting. The compliance of health, the regulatory part is going to be important, and we should be there. The new demand that is coming up, that's where we'll have to be extremely vigilant. We'll have to continuously create a cell, a group of people who should be only looking at, apart from the other work, that what kind of new demands are coming up. That goes to our innovation lab, and from there it comes out the prototype and say that, hey, Mr. Customer, I have a different thing for you. I have got something which is really going to make your life smoother. So all that I said out here is once again supported by the simple slide of Gartner. The new normal. And you see, Gartner is once again starting with the same line. First line for them is health and hygiene across all functions. They are talking about, we spoke about digitalization automation in the previous slide. They are talking about using technology for cost optimization. Update the mechanism. The agile resource management. The more we are agile in our resource management, the less is the risk. The digital. Let me just place one thing here. What is the challenge that you generally face, for digitalization? Is a mindset first. We need to first talk about a very, very strong internal drive to talk about a digitalization. Then look at components, different components in different units, different divisions. Spend that time and money to first do the assessment. My honest request to all my friends out here, when you are going for automation, when you are going for digitalization, lot of people, lot of vendors will be coming to your doorsteps, talking to your IT head or CIO and say that this is one X thing I have bought. My company has developed this product. Please buy it and this will take you to the heaven the next day. You will travel to Mars the next day. Before you take any purchase decision for digitalization or automation, do your own internal study. There has to be a proper assessment. There are methodologies for doing that thing. Take help of experts in doing the assessment, and then only look for applications and products outside. The last point here is the similar thing. Adapt products and services to the needs. What are my needs? That needs to be very clearly defined, and then we move forward for the restart. I'll come back to the people priorities once again. I'll keep on harping through my entire presentation about people. This is from BCG Consulting. They once again are talking about the few things that you need to look at. Smart work, more remote, lower cost. Few of my colleagues mentioned in the question answer session about the remote working procedure. See, the point number 2 is the physical and the mental health together. The moment I say that the remote work, lower cost, people are not used to it. This is an impact. The fear of disease in an impact. The habit of working together under the same roof, having lunch together at 1 p.m. has got a different impact in mind. We'll have to consider those things. We'll have to train our people for all the new norms that is coming to our life. Let's spend some time on that in training our people to get used to it. Workforce has to be flexible. Now, the flexibility of workforce is, when I come to my other slides, the flexibility comes more through the agile environment creation of your workstations, your workshop, your shop floor. Your flexibility comes from the training that you are doing. How much cross-skilling are we doing amongst our employees? How can we leverage the bandwidth of one person by training him to an X technology or X substance so that we can cohesively work and work with tighter bandwidth, tighter number of people? So the skill and the talent, and I am sure that IPA is going to play a big role out here. There is a large area where you'll have to work on the skill and the talent. How are you going to train them? How are you going to build them? How are you going to make them future ready? Sandeep, as I said, that you started with that very interesting introduction, requesting me to talk about leadership. Now, you see the point number 5 talks about that leadership with heart, head, and hands.
Wow.
So you can understand that if I am, if we go back to, a leader who's considered, who's a famous, notorious leader, Hitler. So obviously he had the head, but later on, after losing, people say that he didn't have the head, but he had the heart because she had Eva Braun. We know that he also had the sentiments and the loves to do for things, but was that the real way of executing your head and heart? In our leadership in an industrialized segment today, unless the head and the heart are working together to make your hands mobile along with your people, we will not be able to derive things from them.
Very true.
You have to do this by this time. I should lead by example. In today's scenario, the organization have to find out the right leadership. We'll have to create the band of the right leaders who can really motivate our people, come back with their experience, put them into the front. Let me pause. By putting them into the front, everyone can do. Standing beside them, not everyone can do. So the leadership has to have all these attributes. So another important part for all of us is the selection of the leadership. If I were you, if what I have done earlier is that leadership selection is, if I am the leader, I immediately try to select the next 2 levels or 3 levels of leaders and plan for the situation that tomorrow I will retire as a leader. But the flow of leadership has to continue. And that's how I create my team. The organization has to be clearly purpose driven. I cannot say that I will create one product today because yesterday morning I had dreamt about it. If my dream has got a touch with the reality, the demand, the proximity of the market, the point number 6 then comes into being. Resilient, point number 7, we discussed earlier. We'll have to continue with the resilience for a certain time. Just in support with the new start, rethink your product strategies. And I'm not saying Gartner research in association with the National Association of Manufacturers. Rethink the product strategies. Let us spend some time on this. And the moment we get certain ideas on this part, the organization has to move on that these rethought ideas, how are we going to implement? Because the reconstructed ideas of the new products or services are going to come from the market, from our customers. It's not from our dream. Different parameters have to be considered in terms of the usefulness of the product or the service, the kind of impact it's going to create in the market, reachability, margin, volume. All these things need to be recalculated back at home before you throw it up onto the shore. So here is the recovery phase. We are reprioritizing ourselves. The financial plans are going to now gradually improve certain efficiency. Productivity is going to increase. And the optimization. This is again a Gartner slide. The optimization and the digital business has to continue. The optimization is primarily driven by, once again, the automation and the digitization. Continuously, we'll have to do the analytics, keep our analytics engine sharp at this stage. What kind of information are we deriving from the market? How are we going to work on those? Data comes in huge form. Unless someone is spending time on that, doing the analytics, the meaningful interpretation of data will not be available. Unless we get the meaning extrapolated from the data, we will not be able to restart. And then finally, the state where we are renewing, the renew phase, cost and business transformation, which will be including how we are going to demonstrate and allocate the IT spend. Now mind it, ladies and gentlemen out here, IT spend is going to be one of the most important spend. I'm not talking about large, big, small, high. It's going to be important expenditure in our life. We'll have to look at small pieces of costs which are going to come up, because the small components will be driven by the innovation levers that we're going to work on. When the cost figures come in, it does not necessarily mean that it is going to be a huge cost, but it is a cost. So we'll have to really look at what kind of strategies we are going to take forward. What is the risk? For a restart phenomena, we'll have to create a risk register. Risks are known and there are certain level of unknown risks. We'll have to create that risk register before we step into the next level of restart. Inputs are fine. Innovation, technologies, ideas, optimization, everything is fine. Now this period when the business is lull, we'll have to spend that time to get all this information, work on your ideas, work on the commercials, look at the risk factors, and then create the go-to-market strategy and our customer engagement plan. Well, I will take another short gap out here. Probably a little bit shorter. Sandeep, help me.
Okay.
What can keep us ahead today?
All right. Yes, friends, it's, I think, the last thought of food for thoughts. What can keep us ahead today? Can somebody share their views? Pricing, technology, innovation, give solution as per customer need, on-time delivery. Any other great example?
Good.
Innovation
I said I'll
again.
make it short and sweeter out
Yes.
here.
Yes.
So let's carry on from here.
Okay. Cost control and all this are there. You can start.
Yes. I will start with this line: unlimited, unconventional thinking. That will keep us ahead, which contains all the points my colleagues are saying. How do you go about it? All these points that you have been saying, that which can keep us ahead today, there has to be a lot of thinking and unconventional. If you look at the picture of this house behind, how does it look like? This is not a very standard stuff, not a kind of house that you would like to build up. So here is something from where, after all these discussions, we will trigger to transform. The trigger to transformation is interesting. I will talk about a transformation engine. This engine, which have been successfully deployed in few places, basically combination of few tested and proven stuffs that have been deployed together, which is a summary of all those things that we have been discussing in the last 1 hour. This is called business transformation, which you have already mentioned, and the ADAPT concept. There are levers within this: improved service and products. And now, colleagues, you can recollect that everything that you have mentioned, these have been captured out here. When I asked you, requested you to mention those things, you gave me those inputs, but I didn't do any multitasking, but the slide was prepared earlier. So we are talking about the business transformation through the ADAPT concept. What is ADAPT? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 words, 5 letters in this word. And this has got an English meaning also. Adept is proficient. All that we want to do is become proficient in what we want to do. And that's why what you can see out here are the levers. The core values for us to restart, to transform, to get into the next league, the next era, is the improved service and products, customer satisfaction and demand, collaboration, and employee satisfaction. Based on the core values, the ADAPT concept is taking us to the other 4 initiatives that we should follow in a more granular level. Standardization. All that we are doing today, whether it's the shop floor or in the service segment, we need to standardize as per the proven standards of the industry. There are a lot of innovation. We are coming back to the word innovation, automation and digitizations. And mind it, the most important thing is the people excellence. And the change lever, we need the change lever of flexibility and scalability. How fast we can scale up, how flexible we are in listening to the market demands, to our customer needs, and build ourselves up to cater to their needs. So that's what we are going to do through this business transformation. Now, interestingly, the word adept, while the whole word has got a meaning which is proficient, in our parlance of transformation in this concept, it is achieving delivery excellence via progressive transformation. How does that sound? We are talking about proficiency, and the proficiency is basically achieving the delivery excellence through a progressive path of transformation. Someone just mentioned progressive. Someone just mentioned the delivery excellence when you gave your inputs to me in the previous 2 sessions. This model is simple. There has to be an action plan. We identify the gap to goal. Based on that, there's an action plan. We do the discovery to see what is the current state. Create a clear standardization and automation platform. When we say standardization, how is the best performers yesterday, today, at performing with best margin, best products? They have standardized on certain parameters. We will try to create those standardization. We'll try to automate and digitize. The entire process is driven through our industry-renowned methodology called business process reengineering. This is a tedious process. It's a very interesting process. Once an organization goes through a BPR, I have seen people really elating out of that. Whoa, that was fundamentally nice. We never knew that where we were earlier. The process has told us that we are in such position. Then comes the concept of team. Team is an acronym. It's talent, enhancement, and mobilization. Then comes the concept of operational excellence. So all that you decide to do in the reset phase, there has to be some operational excellence. The operational excellence will actually measure, monitor, and report on what you had decided and what you are delivering. Mind the 3 M's: measure, monitor, and report. So cumulatively, the adept will take us to something called chess. Our colleagues have been talking about all that we'll do through this transformation process will bring us to comprehensive service and solution. One-stop place. We'd like to create a one-stop solution for the customer. It's a fancy name called chess, but it means comprehensive services and solutions. Let's look at one of the most important slides, which we have been talking about earlier. People. I have been talking about people. You have been talking about people. The team slide, again, the word team is a whole word with a full meaning, but it is also an acronym in our case: talent, enhancement, and mobilization. Competency management. What is the current competency today? What is the skill baseline? We'll have to rigorously spend time on baselining our skills, benchmarking our skills, and work on the enhancement. Opportunity management is what is the current opportunity where skills are being deployed? What can be the future demand? Now here you see, we have already crossed that part. You have done the innovation, you are already doing the innovation, you are talking to your customers, you are understanding the demand of the market and your customer. You can really create the opportunity management part very well and prepare your people. Availability and mobilization. The customer would say, you know, tomorrow I have got this kind of a situation. I want a person of this capability. So you have a resource pool which is already created. You can look at it and fit the gap. Tomorrow the market is not going to wait for us. They will wait for ready solutions, quick solutions. So we'll have to invest time, invest energy and money on our people who are going to help us in the entire part that you have spoken in the last few slides. And finally, the people excellence. The employee development program, the future readiness is going to be the prime factor. The SWOT analysis, some of my colleagues mentioned in the Q&A session, SWOT analysis. IDP is internal development program. TNI is training need identification. That has to continuously continue out here. Bring in more collaboration in the organization. You will find that there's a certain segment of people, your employees, they are grouped in different places. This is typical in human being. They're having lunch together, another group is sitting in another corner. No remixing of people in the lunch room or in the games room. the collaborative environment has to be created to share our knowledge, to share our skill, and build ourselves. Employees should be engaged more with the customers, not only at the managerial level. Identify representatives in the organization, train themselves, and see that they are customer ready. They'll help you in the shop floor. They'll also help you in reaching out to the customer, and that will bring us immense values. So there are more to talk about this. I don't think we have much time today on that. I would love to have different interaction sessions. Let's come towards the other part. I'll quickly run through this. This is a solution. Select and empower your leadership. Evolve the performance. Create the interoperability within your business. Focus on automation, summarizing and continuously summarizing so that it does not slip off your mind. Drive the efficiency. All that will qualitatively drive business advantage, stakeholders, clear focus. This will be the end deliverable. This is what? Why did I come to this slide as a summary? Because now I'll take you to one very interesting slide, which is driven by the progressive value generation. All that we have been doing, see the heading of this slide is progressive value generation. What is the benefit? How can we really reach our milestone through our progressive value generation roadmap? So here is we spoke about the ADAPT journey. We spoke about the progressive value generation. And we spoke about the different phases. We said that today's situation, what we should focus on, what we should do for tomorrow, and what we should do for future. Just for your easiness of understanding, I've tried to capture this in this slide. This is the current operating model, which has got impact and risk baselining, which we'll have to do right now. You have seen in the Gartner slide also, there is a financial impact, operational impact, as well as there's supply chain impact. Then comes most important part for us before we restart, the interim operating model. We have captured all those things that we have discussed, the workforce safety, the fund management, customer orientation, the baselines of that, the service management, improvement, health regulatory compliance, cost optimization, smart design. While we take care of this, now, how this project is going to be successful in your organization is between the first bullet and the second bullet, the impact and risk baselining and keeping lights on, there has to be a timeline. You'll have to give yourself dates and timelines, assign to certain people, make people responsible, take ownership. Similarly, between all the bullets, all the bulbs, there will be definite action items which you derive, create timelines, and give specific ownership to people. So this is the interim operating model where you're keeping the lights on and now getting prepared for the restart. You are going for the true transformation at the next level. And what is that? So this is the target operating model in magenta color, where we are going to reach the operational excellence, the compliance, and adapt to the new world order. Each and every point that we have worked earlier have been incorporated in the baseline, the enterprise-wide integration of people, process, and technology, how you're going to work smartly, because earlier we mentioned about the smart work, where we thought, here we are actually integrating. We are actually integrating the digital ecosystem. We are embracing it within us. And after we do the business process reengineering, we'll have to manage it thoroughly. How are you going to manage it? How are you going to maintain that proficiency in the entire thing? How can your entire system after the entire transformation is going to be adapt? So a lot of thought behind that, but this model, if we start thinking today, will really bring us lot of peace in the coming days. So that's all in the summary, but it does not wait here. While you reach the target operating model, we start thinking about the future operating model because improvement has to continue. Improvement cannot stop. Improvement is futuristic. Contemporary improvement can sustain ourselves up to a certain level, but if we don't do futuristic thought, futuristic improvement, futuristic transformation, we'll be stuck at a certain point. So that's fairly done for today. And I would really like to thank you for your attention and would love to be in touch with all of you. And now it is open for any question answers in case you have, and Sandeep, it's up to you, Mr. Moderator. If you allow us some time, I would love to hear from my colleagues all around.
I think we can go for question and answer, Sandeep, please.
Yes, yes.
Gurmeet-ji, you were saying something probably.
I was saying excellent presentation, lot of matter. I have a small joke for you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You know, I always joke around with all my friends, Banerjee, Chatterjee and Mukherjee, but no energy. But what you have displayed today is a lot of energy. Thank you, Partha. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Gurmeet.
Sorry, I was
but
only
that
joking.
Also, no, it was not a joke. See, I have got something in return out of the joke. One is obviously the fun after the long session. और बाकी आपने तो बता दिया कि मैंने आपका दोस्त हो गया.
Very good, very good. I would have hugged you, but I'm sorry. You are in Calcutta, I'm in Bombay. So anyway, Sandeep,
we'll
please
hug
carry
with the
on.
social distance. Yes, Sandeep.
Anybody wants to ask any question, they can write in the chat if there is any question. Mr. Partha, your presentation had a lot of content, and I am sure one thing, that I'm going to get a lot of requests that can we get the presentation. So I know it's difficult for you, it's a hard work, but if you can compile a couple of slides which in a PDF format and you can share it with us so that people can have it with them, and you have explained them so well, but a lot of new technical terms you have used out there, so it's not easy to remember everything. So if it's possible, please share with us so that we can distribute it with our members, if possible.
So Sandeep, 1 minute. When you send the email to all the participants, please send Partha's contact details so that if
his last slide should be there so that they can directly connect to him.
Yeah, so but I want you, when IPA sends an email to all the participants, please make sure his credentials and his contact details are sent so that anybody who wants to contact him can contact him directly.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please carry on.
So I'm getting the reply that it is a really fantastic presentation by Mr. Partha for Kickstart the new norms. Again, can we get the presentation? Good presentation, thank you. Now, Mr. Manikam is asking, we are in a building industry. We were already in the midst of industry slowdown. Now, thanks to CC Corona crisis, as it is our business was competitive, we cannot survive like this, especially now. But competition may not appreciate customer service and all that for the customer to price the first priority. How do we sustain?
See, the industry specific challenges has to be looked at with more data points. Now, I will just give a top line address on that. I have one friend who also works in the construction industry. Rather, I've got two friends who runs the construction companies. One of them is a structural consultant, and he is known across the country in his organization. And other is in the construction segment. He runs the project management part of the entire stuff. Now, the challenge is, will the construction stop? Let me ask from the very, very basic question. Will the construction stop?
No.
Will this country get stuck at this level that there will be no constructions further, or it will be reduced to a certain level that we are going to go back by 25 years? I'm sure you're not going to do that at all. Each and every country across the world, they are, now, if I go back to my slides right now, we are in that two phases, the interim operating model 1 and 2. The countries are in the interim operating model 1, where they're planning their resilience. The answer to my friend's question will come when we are at the interim operating model 2, when the industry is starting, when the government is started announcing the other packages, other measures, the development plans. Is there an impact in the 5 years plan? Is there an impact in a specific segment? If you ask me truly, how it is going to impact this segment. Now, if I look at the construction business tomorrow, buildings, plants, bridges, all constructions in the public segment will continue. Household, the question would come, will there be no flats? Come on. It may be a fact that the price factors will be different. But I don't think there's going to be a drastic drop in the entire thing. I'm not an expert in this field. That's why I said talking about a specific industry segment would require very specific industry data, which we don't have right now. Probably I would love to address this.
I think your details can be shared with Mr. Manikan, and if he require, he can directly interact with you also on that.
Well, I will tell you something, Partha. Can I add to what you were talking about?
Sure, sir.
See, the reduction and migrant labor which has gone back to their villages will take time to come. And therefore, this is a boon in disguise for the construction industry, because you are going to get lesser site launches, and therefore older oversupplied cities like Mumbai, Delhi and Pune, that stock will sell and new stock is not going to come. So if you look at the long-term perspective, prices will go up further from where they are today, because this is a supply and demand situation, as we know. And therefore, it is good that new sites will not come for some time because of the negativity and the lack of labor today. So in turn, this is going to be beneficial to the building industry, sir.
That's right.
Yes.
This is so nicely explained.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Everybody's appreciating. A couple of them asked for your presentation. That's what I told you. So everybody's so happy. Thank you, Mr. Partha, for your time and such a wonderful knowledge sharing session and bringing a lot of new things to us. We really applause for you, and we are really thankful. And I can say one thing, that probably we'll ask you again, if my members will ask me, we can have one more interactive session with you. So maybe when they open up the offices and everything starts up, maybe again, then we'll call you that how to sustain out in this time again, to just a reminder or
Sure.
To go through. So at this end, can I request C.S. Gupta ji, our National Secretary, to share a vote of thanks, please, sir?
Thank you, participants. Albert Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used to create them. So bring a change. What we heard from today's learned speaker, Mr. Partha, who shared his views and thoughts through a very interactive session, that change is implied and only change will result in the success. Thank you, Mr. Partha, and thank to the all audience who connected with us on this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everybody. And we will keep you all updated about our next webinar. Please be in touch with us. If you have anything, you can write us or you can connect us on, please visit our website. We have recently launched a new document on COVID-19. So you can see how plumbing and water and drainage can help you out in that. This is a very important document. I urge all of you to please download it on the website and do regularly visit IPA website, where we have a lot of information coming up and we keep updating that website. And anything you needed, you can specifically write to us and we will be there to help you out. And I wish you all safe time, stay safe, stay home, and let's hope that we come out with this corona and all this crisis happily together. Thank you, and I sign off from this webinar. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Well done, Sandeep.
Very good.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Partha. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sirs. Let's keep in touch personally.
We will, sir. We will.
Sure.